Hi, everyone. Welcome to Beacons of Balance. I'm Arlene. This is my wonderful co-host, Joanne. Down below, we have our wonderful guest speaker, Lynda Losee, who will be introducing. Joanne will be introducing.
So, many of you out there have been through some really horrific times, and you wonder, were my angels ever around? Was God out having a beer? I mean, it's like today you're going to meet a very special guest. I had the pleasure of meeting Lynda through another friend, and I'm telling you, her story is riveting. She's the author of Through Your Eyes. Look at those gorgeous eyes. Oh my goodness. I started reading this and I couldn't put it down. It really gives you a glimpse of what some of us can go through and still survive, no matter what is thrown in our path. And we've all been there like, oh my God, can I take another day of this? But today, you're going to hear firsthand from Lynda, who is a former professional model. And then she's, look at that hair. Oh my God, gorgeous hair model for the mature set. But she has been all over the world. She has worked with even Mr. Revson, who is the owner of Revlon. Is that right? You've had quite the story. And coming from such a dysfunctional family, you would never think that you came from a dysfunctional family.
So, rose above it, right?
You rose above it. And this episode will prove to you that angels really do exist. Right, Arlene?
That's what we're all about. That's what we're here.
So, yeah.
Welcome, Lynda. And congratulations on your book, again, Through My Eyes, which was published in 2024. Something very unusual happened on that day when it was published. Can you explain and tell us about that? What happened?
Yeah, I had received a call from the publisher, and I was on my way to another call, and he informed me that the book had just gone live, and I was elated. So that was July 15th, 2024. So happy. Hung up the phone. The next thing I knew, I was laying in a pool of blood, looking at glass chips. It's like, what happened? And what I saw was the phone that I was holding was in front of me, and there was a 911 on it.
Wow.
Again, it did not make sense. But the watch I was wearing connected to the phone, knowing I was in trauma. A voice came on the phone and said, "What is your address?" I was able to repeat it, and within 5 minutes, there were paramedics, police, ambulances, fire trucks. You name it. This was all within 10 minutes. My husband came running in. He said, "Oh, you've got the wrong place." I said, "Oh, no, we don't." He didn't even know this was going on. Wow. I had tripped and fallen and put the glass through my arm. Next thing I knew, I was in the hospital in the surgery, 6 hours of surgery. And my nurse, male nurse, was Jesus, which I always call Jesus. Always. So from there, I mean, he actually saved my life. He saw that my blood pressure was very low. I don't know what you call it. My nurse's name was Jesus. He saw that the blood pressure was very low. And he said, "We're going to transfuse you again." And during that transfusion, I don't know what you call it, whether it be visionary, you call it near-death experience. It was absolutely beautiful. Absolutely the most beautiful thing I've seen in the world or felt. And he saved my life. And it was very lovely, I have to say.
So who did you see during that transfusion?
I saw all people, all ages, that had passed. And they were all very happy. They were smiling. They were all kind of going about in a row. So blame it on Oxycontin. I don't know. But I don't think so, because I remember it vividly. And the other vision I saw were beautiful, beautiful white and blue hydrangeas, which is my favorite flower. It was a peaceful, wonderful. I was somewhere in between, I believe. I wasn't there yet, but I was somewhere in between.
Did you see beings that you knew?
Yes, yes,
See?
yes. Acquaintances, family members, all that had passed, obviously.
Did they have messages, Lynda?
No messages, just big smiles.
The smiles.
I always say the smile's important. Did you see your cousin, who Joanne will talk about?
Don't, but I always felt that I felt her presence, but I did not see her face.
Okay.
I felt like someone was there. Just someone was there. I don't know how else to explain it.
Well,
It was very
she was a close confidant of yours. Take us back to when you were 7 and you were staying over your cousins for a sleepover.
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah, we were just having fun eating popcorn on the sofa and knocked him at the door. And she got up and I said, "Oh, Dad said, don't open the door." And she said, "Oh, I just want to peek." Well, it was it was a boy, brother of her best friend. So she let him in. He lived 4 doors from her. Why not? But what ensued after that was incredibly horrific. And he started to murder her. And I don't know how a 7-year-old at that age would think, but I buried myself under those big overstuffed cushions that we used to have on those humongous sofas. And I laid very still. And I did not move. The baby that we were babysitting for started to cry. He started his way down the hallway. It was one of those old bungalows that had a long hallway with rooms off them. And I could hear his footsteps. And into the room he went and killed that poor little baby. And then he continued walking out the back door and down the steps. From that day forward, I did not talk. My parents and her parents came in on that scene, which was horrific.
Can't even imagine walking in on that.
Awful. Awful.
Oh my God. So did they ever
stay behind the cushions until they came in?
The cushions, and they had big pillows, those big 30 by 30 pillows. And it was just a tiny little thing. And I just kind of burrowed myself like this.
Yeah, but did you stay there until?
Absolutely. Yeah. I never moved. I was fearful, and being 7, you don't know. I was fearful that he might still be there.
Of course.
Yeah. So, and I think I was in shock. I really feel, possibly I was in shock.
I can't believe the trauma. I mean, oh my dear God. I mean,
unbelievable.
It was a lot. Yeah. It was a lot.
But you actually lost your. I'm sorry, Arlene.
No, I was going to say you were definitely protected by angels. I mean,
Absolutely.
had divine intervention happening.
Divine intervention for sure.
You to know to go behind that, and they were protecting you. You know,
a 7-year-old doesn't think that way.
Right.
I actually really don't. So it was divine intervention that made me do what I did. And until I heard my parents' voice and my cousin's parents' voice, I did not move.
So you had lost your voice? You couldn't speak after that from the
No, I couldn't make it come out. And it was quite a while with therapy. I stuttered quite badly, which oftentimes you do with situations like that. But it all came together. It all came together, killers. And they happened upon his home, which was only 4 doors from where she lived.
Wow.
And they went in, they combed sofas looking for material because during their struggle, she had grabbed a silver thread and it was under her nail. That's the only thing they had to go on. So they combed this one home, and in the closet was a gray sports jacket with silver threads going through it. There's your silver lining.
Wow.
Took the thread, they matched them, and the rest is history. He went to jail for the rest of his life.
Oh gosh. And they didn't have death penalties then?
They did. But because he was a minor, in their eyes under 21, he got 29 years and a day. So he died in prison. Yeah. Sad. Obviously, he was sick, mentally ill. Wiring was wrong. We don't know.
Right.
Although my uncle had said at one point, I would give up my life. If he ever gets out, I'll give up my life. I'll see him gone.
Right.
They were incensed.
I can't even imagine walking in on, how old was she?
14.
And you were 7. I mean, thank God you didn't have any feet sticking out of the pillow or a hand or.
I don't know.
Most 7-year-olds would lose it or start crying, but
Well,
you stayed still. To me, that's a miracle.
you know, I really do believe in divine intervention. Someone helped me to stay still.
That's just, yeah, thank God you're here and that you're functioning.
There are days.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Some people could bump their toes. You're shattered for life. It's like the end of the world. They make such a big deal and everything. So we're going to change it up. It's good.
Get lighter on the
Yeah, I understand that a famous hairstylist want you as a top model for a new style in vogue at that time. It was I remember this. We're in the same genre.
Yeah.
Vidal Sassoon, the asymmetrical cut. And also you were the famous face for Borghese, for the line from Italy for quite a while.
Yes, yes.
Most recently, a model representing mature women with, with gorgeous gray.
Yeah.
And
That is gorgeous.
that whole episode with the model, how did that change your life? And
Oh, change as far as modeling was concerned, I don't feel that it actually really changed my life. I have always, since all this, I have always believed you can do anything you want. It's been proven to me. What it's done is made me appreciate who I never thought I was. You know, I was so beaten down. I read this little paraphrase that the more you're beaten down, the more you're blocked, the stronger you get. The stronger you get, whether it's emotionally, physically, or whatever. And so through this, I have learned I just appreciate what's given to me. I laid there during COVID and what were we going to do? I can't color my hair. I can't go anywhere. And it started getting so white in the front. And I was reading all these magazines, and it's back when it was really in vogue. And I said, well, gee, if she can do it, why can't I? So I sent my picture into a major company, and they called me 2 weeks later. But actually, I don't feel that it has changed my life in any way. Only that once in a while when we would fly, my husband's very shy. We'd fly, and the stewardess would recognize me, and she'd say, "Oh, wow, wow, wow." He'd roll his eyes. He'd go, "Oh, not again." You know, but no, as far as changing me, it has not changed me. It's only made me appreciate who I am and what I've been through. Quite honestly.
They say survivors like you have a completely different outlook on life now. Do you find that you have more gratitude for just
Oh, absolutely.
everything? And
There is not a morning that I don't wake up and the first words out of my mouth are thank you. Thank you.
And do you find that, because we're both gardeners, and do you find that you could just look into a face of a flower and see an entire universe? You look at even flowers in a different way.
Oh, absolutely.
Amazing.
And in Florida, it's just incredible. The hibiscus, I mean, you really look at it and you study it, and the piston, you know, it's just, you so appreciate when you have had everything taken away from you. Since then, read stories of people. I mean, Shady Vance and Charles Barkley and all these people who have overcome adversities. Because there is one thing, the past is the past.
Mm-hmm.
Today is the future. And I feel if you don't feel that way, you stay in constant motion of thinking of the past, the past.
Exactly.
No. You've got to think today. Today's my future. Tomorrow's my future. And you've got to have that attitude. You just do.
But there's so many that cannot get past the past. I know so many women now, you know, I know women that have been divorced for 30, 40 years, and they play the record over
and over.
And that etches it further into your psyche, further in.
Absolutely.
You had, Lynda, to our audience, Lynda, you're a perfect example for the world to see. You are a survivor. You've moved through. Nothing's easy. Obviously, what you went through, such horrific things, has not been easy. And we go through our adversity, and you could either cow and fold into that, or you could pick yourself up by the seat of your pants and say, new day, different. This is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to be different.
Well, and when you talk to your brain, I didn't know this was possible because through this, obviously, I've had a lot of people to talk to. And your brain is our most powerful thing in our body. And if you feed it negativity and continue, it's what it will produce. If you tell it, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to feel better, and I'm going to do that, and I'm moving on, it will. It will allow you to.
We talked about this. We have this in other episodes. We are master manifestors. And I always, line is what you focus on grows, what you feed breeds. Since we are gardeners, we love our plants. Very simple. If you water something, you're nourishing it, you pray, it'll grow. If you take water away, what happens? It shrivels up and
both have manifestation and affirmation. Exactly. I believe in affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
Staying in that victimhood serves no one.
Yeah.
You don't realize how powerful you are. What comes out of your mouth, your thoughts.
You know, just reading things from Mel Robbins and Louise Hay, Ellen Langer. She's amazing. I mean, she never did this, but I continue to do this. And I think it makes you grow. These are very bright people.
Yeah.
And they've testified, they've done studies. And sometimes you have to start small, but you know what? Everything is positive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can make great changes. I always tell people, if I put a recorder on you for just one day, you would be shocked at what comes out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Usually what comes out of our mouth is stuff about us. I mean, we don't talk nicely to ourselves.
Yeah, no, we don't. And you know, everything is hearing that. We're taking that all in. And then we won't.
Exactly.
Oh, my arm hurts. Well, yeah, it will.
Right.
You know, or
Yeah.
A lot of it comes through with just the beliefs that you come in with.
Right.
Your cultural beliefs. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I totally had to erase those. I had to totally work on erasing those because it was too negative and it was never going to get me anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably.
It's a familiar our family lineage that continues on. I'm going to interject because, we love humor here.
Yeah.
This woman was making a roast one day, right? Well, she made it several times, and her husband used to observe, and he goes, why? She would get the meat and she'd cut off the end and throw it out. And he goes, why are you doing that? And she goes, well, that's the way my mother made it. I watched my mother that. And so then she asked her mother, and she goes, well, why? She goes, well, that's the way your grandmother did it. So they found out grandmother was still living. And so they both confront her. Well, how come you made the roast this way? What did it do? She goes, well, that's because I didn't have a size pan that it would fit in.
There you go. There you go.
It is so true.
In mind, when I had my children, I was going to make life fun. And that was going to be that. Holidays were going to be fun. Fun was going to be fun. I think that they're all very fun parents.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I grew up in my own dysfunction. So the only reference point I had, of course, was watching TV, Ozzie and Harry and all of that, or the commercials, right? Everybody sat around with the turkey and everybody's smiling. I wanted to create that. So I did that when I first got married, and it probably gave them too many hang-ups.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, now we throw a buffet out there and let them swim and whatever.
So, Lynda, based on everything you've gone through, and there's a lot of people watching this that are in pain. They're suffering emotionally, physically, spiritually, whatever. What is the most important thing that you've learned through going through everything you have that you can pass on to someone watching this who's really in pain emotionally?
Well, it goes back so far, but I just still will say they need to focus on today. They've already been through it. Why play that song over again?
Exactly.
You've got to. And if you need help, seek it out.
Yeah.
Because they know so much more than we do. Reading about it, giving yourself affirmation, giving yourself the ability to do it. You can do it. This has been a long life. I mean, it has been, and it has been just insane. That's why I wrote the book about it, because I honestly wanted people to see where you were, what I believed I was, and who I am now. I'm nobody different than anybody else, but my brain is.
Thank God you've got such an amazing husband.
Oh, my life began at 52.
I hear you. I'm on my third, and he's the one. It took me three. I'm
3 times is the charm.
Yeah, sometimes it just is. I mean, Joanne's been with John forever, and she's lucky.
45 years.
It's okay. Well, most just don't get it right the first time. With anything.
Right.
Whether you're riding a bike or whatever.
What do they
There are
say?
a lot of men that would never
Practice.
There you go. There you go.
Oh my gosh. Well,
So
is there
there-
anything else in the book that you might want to touch on or that we didn't cover?
Not really. In my mind, and it's very vast, as you know, and I always have seen it as a screenplay because I'd love to watch it. I'd like to see it come to life. So I would like to. No, I need to make it come to life. But because I think it's interesting and I think that people may take something from it. You know, I was going to name it something else. It's kind of interesting. I was going to call it Brown Tied Shoes. Why would I do that? Well, because until I was 10, I was always made to wear those ugly Buster Brown tied shoes. And I hated them. They dressed me like a little boy. I thought, well, I'm going to change this.
Well, you certainly changed that one around.
Yeah.
That's funny you're
Always put
saying
them
that
back.
because my mother used to cut my hair back then. It was called a DA. You know what a DA is?
Oh, yes.
For
yes.
people that don't know, I'll tell you viewers, it was called
Don't give it. Go.
a duck's ass because the
That's
back
right.
was down in a point. So I looked
Yeah.
like a boy. It made me look like a boy. So my mother consequently started with the ruffled dresses and the socks and the leather shoes. And that's why I'm a blinger, you know. It's incorporated. It's incorporated in me, you know. And
Yeah. Well, they had a bowl. I had a
Oh, the bowl cuts.
bowl with the bang.
You remember the Tony perms?
Oh, did that smell?
Pit curl.
Oh, that was horrible.
Oh my God, we're showing our age now, boy.
my mother used to send us for perms, and it was so horrific back then. They burnt my scalp, and I think
Ooh.
that's why my hair. That's why now, consequently, I have my hair's thin. You know, it was
That smell.
it was
that
damaged. It damaged the roots and everything. So, oh my Lord, we could go on and on. But Lynda, thank you so much for coming on and sharing
Right.
your journey.
Oh,
You're amazing.
story.
Amazing survivor.
And,
And
absolutely.
just a reminder to our audience, if you decide to order Lynda's book on Amazon, it's listed under her ghostwriter name, L.D.
Right.
Richards, not Lynda Losee.
Right.
So, yeah, through my eyes.
one other question I wanted to ask you, since we are beacons of balance, it's about being, I always say the world is a world of, this title for our podcast came to be, because we're in a world of duality, up, down, left, right. So being in the middle, we want to be, you're not going to go away. So it's about being in balance, because if you're off on one side or the other, it throws you off. So what do you do for yourself to keep yourself in balance through all?
I eat right. I've always eaten right. Even in I was a dietitian for a while, but I think eating right and staying close to nature is the most beautiful thing that you can do for yourself.
Gardening is very healing.
Yes, nature is extremely healing.
Extremely.
And when you have a negative thought, if you go to something beautiful outside, your thought will change.
Exactly.
Erases away. Well, that's why I say to people, you know, we do a lot of, Joanne and I were energy workers, do a lot of work. And I always tell my clients, Epsom salt baths, either an
Yes.
Epsom salt bath, or if you don't have a bathtub, get a basin and put your feet in Epsom salt, especially after your body work and stuff. If you're going through something, it draws out everything. And that's why people are so attracted to go to the ocean. They don't
Yes.
even realize that the ocean, not lake water, the ocean, because the ions of the salt water are so healing.
Well, and the
They're
largest,
healing.
your largest pore of your body is your bottom of your feet.
Right.
So when you're taking that in, you're soaking your feet. It's taking in the good salts for you.
Exactly.
And drawing out what isn't.
Yes, yes.
Oh, we have such pearls of wisdom. Oh my Trinity, the three of us, boy, we're
Yeah. You're going like this.
This is what we do, and we love it. Well, thank you again. This was
thank you. And I want to thank all of our listeners and viewers. And I always say, get out of here. For those that are listening, I'm pointing to my head. Get out of your head and drop into your heart space. Love, always from love.
Right.
We need it so desperately these days. holidays are upon us. And just heal.
Well, they bring joy and they bring stress. So, balance.
Yeah, but balance it out and just, and I don't say do this, smile. A smile could change somebody in a heartbeat.
So true.
Ask somebody in a store, just smile at them,
So don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button.
Go below, there's a button to hit. Yes, leave comments. We will respond and answer back. We want to keep this channel going, so we need your support on that. And be the beautiful beacons of light that you are, and send it out there because it's so desperately needed. I want to thank you. Thank you, Joanne.
Yes, thank you,
Lynda.
Arlene. Love you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
Have wonderful holidays.
You too.
Blessings
See you in
to all.
January.